Hello. How is it going, people? It's been an eventful day. I've just got home. I tried to go buy a Nintendo Switch 2 to go with me for some other project I've got going on. Guess what? It says you can buy it, you can't buy it. And that's always fun. Anyway, enough of that. Who is ready for some pro wrestling, some IPW showcase of talent? I am not, but hey, it is what it is. We've got an epic show tonight, 4 matches. Hopefully it goes a lot smoother than yesterday. Obviously, if you're unaware, I was suffering yesterday with the broadcast. But, yeah. We will be chilling here tonight. And that's always good, to be able to chill and provide entertainment. That's the name of the game. Entertainment. So, ooh. That would be cool if I did that, but no. Who's ready for our first bout of the evening? CM Punk versus The Rock. This is bound to be an epic opener as we round out the first round of matches for every league tonight. Punk, Rock in our opener, Mercedes Moné versus Nia Jax in our second bout, Roman Gunther, and then matchup of the week, Fallon Henley takes on Natalya Neidhart. It's the Battle of the Champs in our main event. So, why not get underway with our first bout here tonight? Into the breakdown arena we go. We're apparently in Miami for the opening match, as the straight edge superstar graces us with his presence. Yeah! The lights are flashing as CM Punk gets to come out here tonight. The crowd behind him already before he's even called for. Checking his watch. It's clobbering time.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 218 pounds, CM Punk.
Punk comes into this match a man on a mission. We've seen him do well when he competes on his own. He seems to struggle when he has a partner by his side, as his reliance on them is a lot higher than what it is in a singles bout. This man is deadly when he can compete. Former ECW World Champion with this look and feel, as the Chicago native, the Second City Saint, is ready for this one. As we welcome the final boss to break down. Rock looking ready for this one. We know that this is no easy test for either man. Both top stars, and realistically in the Green League, they could be considered favorites to win it all.
And his opponent from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, The Rock!
Rock, we know, has some determination, some realistic aspirations here in IPW. The gold is and will always be front of mind for the People's Champ. But to get there, to get close to challenging for gold here in IPW, you have to be a winner. The Rock has yet to, I feel, pick up a big match victory here in IPW. Tonight's the night maybe for that result to happen. We shall have to see. But as we say, this is this is a difficult situation for both men to be in. Only one can walk out with the victory. But who will take it? It's the Rock's slow, methodical entrance builds us to a more climactic feel for this bout. And this is only the opening match of this day's action. Remember, this is one of 4 matches. The main event is our match of the week, our first ever champion versus champion bout. So, inside the breakdown arena, we're underway. Both men, collar and elbow tie up to get us started. As we said at the beginning of the show, we will know our the first initial standings after one match for everyone in the Green League. As it stands right now, Samoa Joe, the Demon Finn Balor, and Kenny Omega sit on 3 points with our good pal, Mr. Wait, no, that's not even a live match result. Hang on. I don't know what's happened here, but I'm having a quick look at my rankings to understand why. Wait, this is match 4. We've got 3 matches. Yeah, so how has The Rock got 2 points on my records? Somehow he has cheesed some points, but who cares? We focus back in on this matchup. Currently, it is 3 people tied at the top of this division. After tonight, there's a possibility of 4 with The Rock or CM Punk going into the top spot. Nice Samoan drop there, by the way, from The Rock. But that is a thing that we'll have to kind of watch out for, as The Rock sizing up his target. I know why The Rock has that many points. It's because I messed up my formulas. Anyway, Punk taking it now to Rocky. Beginning to work over the leg. Roll-up attempt here from The Rock. Only securing a 1 count. And this is the interesting part of this match. Both men can bring high-octane offense. The Rock, obviously, most electrifying star in all of sports entertainment. Punk, probably the most infamous wrestler. Having crowds chant for him for years on end because of how popular he was. And an entire state behind him in Illinois. He is a man who's realistically just turned the wrestling world on its head through just his presence not being felt in this, well, in a company. As we focus back in on the match, Punk misses the crossbody. The Rock trying to capitalize, sending Rocky into Punk into the corner. Begins to stomp away. Our referee getting a good look at it. Unlike us, we'll spin the camera around to try and get a better view. Yeah. Referees tonight, Kevin, drawing the action, really needs to understand his positioning a little bit more. There we go. Rock back to his feet. Up and over. Trying to get that ebb and flow DDT. Cannot connect. Punk fights out of it. Charges in. Lands a combination of strike. That spinning back fist drops the Rock. And Punk picks it up. Sets him up for the Anaconda Vice. Wrenching quite hard on it. Punk opts to break the hold himself. And I think he's sensing it's nap time for the old man in The Rock. But The Rock catches Punk when he re-enters the ring, hooking, locking, and setting up that sharp shooter. Punk does not tap out. Our referee lets us know that Punk's still in this match. Both men already locked in a submission hold to start us off. But The Rock, he's looking to finish it here with the most electrifying move in all of sports entertainment, the People's Elbow. Dropped into the heart of Punk. Only a 2 count though. As The Rock once more, he's took one elbow pad off. Let's take the other off to go alongside it for the most electrifying move in all of sports entertainment, the People's Elbow. Round 2. Is it enough for victory? No. CM Punk says, nay, I am kicking out with fashion, with panache. And The Rock, well, he's got to go back to that drawing board, recalculate his plan of attack, as the final boss may have met his cheat code, and Punk knows how to handle Rocky's moves here tonight. Sweeps the leg out. Does Punk as he re-enters the ring here. Rock gonna follow, but the double bicep pose from Punk really sets the tempo as Punk has the Rock on his shoulders, up and down for the go to sleep. Into the pin goes Punk, and this could be the game for Punk, but no. Rock kicks out at 2. Punk needs to find his own finishing sequence as Rock's already kicked out of, well, Punk's finisher. Punk's kicked out of 2 of the Rock's. And Punk, sensing nap time may be upon us once again. Back onto the shoulders goes the Rock, who fights out the back door, escapes the fireman's carry. And there's no nap time just yet. The final boss, sensing, smelling blood in the water. Rocky dialing it up, waiting, sizing up Punk, sends him running into the ropes. Up and down with an arm drag. And just clobbering Punk right now. Once again, back to stalking his prey. Hooks him up and down with the Rock bottom. Into the pin goes the Rock for the win. And the final boss stays undefeated in the tournament. This was a really good battle, but let's be honest, it was the first to 3 finishers landed was the victor. While Punk came close, not only landing the 1, once the Rock escaped from the fireman's carry for the 2nd GTS. It was all Rock from that moment on, and Punk could not stop the scaling, the power level of the Rock here in this battle. This puts the Rock tied at the top of the Green League, sitting alongside Samoa Joe, the Demon, and Kenny Omega. An arguably formidable foursome in the Green Division. But the Green Division done for now. We move over, once the replays have finished, to the Gold League.
Here is your winner, The Rock!
A great performance here tonight by the People's Champion. One that's given him a big time victory. But let us move to the Gold League. Mercedes Moné versus Nia Jax. That's gonna be a bit of a brawl. The debut of Mercedes Moné here in IPW versus the OG champ. The only OG champ still here competing in IPW. Who will take an early lead in the tournament in the Gold League? We can kind of talk about it right now, but as I say, as we've seen, I should say, every division has its favorites, and every division can produce upsets. This matchup, in my mind, is close. On paper, both former world champs, both probably on the runs of their lives. Who will come out on top? We will have to see. I'm excited. is simply all I need to say. But let's go back into the breakdown arena for bout numero 2 of the evening. As the former irresistible force makes her presence felt.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from San Diego, California, Nia Jax.
We've said it all before. The inaugural Women's Undisputed World Champion here in IPW. A woman who's only suffered a single loss. Well, suffered losses to only one woman, and that's the current champ. Nia is a hard nut to crack. And can the CEO do it?
And her opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, Mercedes May.
Mercedes Moné, the CEO, she brings that flair factor. Submission specialist, technician, you name it, she can do it. A bit of a belt collector in modern day wrestling. Here tonight, she is going to be put to the test in her debut. Nia Jax, we know, really can withstand punishment. It is down to Moné to break the flow, the tempo that Jax can go for. We'll see, can she do it? As we ready for action. Our second bout of the evening. A very big evening of action, to say that. Let's go. Our referee Kevin calls for the bell, and Jax out of the gates first. Clubbing shots. Dropping Mercedes. Nice arm rake there to pull down Jax, but Jax, a hard woman to keep down on that mat. A pounce through, but fails to connect. A punch from Moné really just angers Jax here. Nice escape out the back door from Mercedes as she brings down with a reverse DDT. As we kind of talk about the styles of these two women. The submission specialist that Moné is against this powerhouse, this giant of a woman who withstands punishment like no one here in IPW. The only way we've seen people beat her is just to throw enough offense, enough punishment at Jax to keep her down. Because as it stands, you try to grab her, she'll push you off. You try to hit her, she gets angry in the early goings. You realistically need to ground her. And even then, she does not stay down for long. This is the longest we've seen her down here in a match so far. But once again, she's back to her vertical base. And Moné comes back in. And finally she can uncork some combos. Nice Hurricane Rana to bring Jax down to the mat. And Jax is already on the retreat. This is good signs for Moné. As Jax tries to roll up, trying to sneak victory. A reversal of the pin here, Moné. Once again, it trades back to Jax. And a nice running elbow there from Moné to drop Jax. But Jax, once again, back to vertical base, comes charging through and just utilizes her big mass to knock down Moné and drop her with a power bomb. Just stomping now away at Mercedes. Jax starting to destroy, to not give Mercedes any avenue into this match. This is the style Jax dominated for months with. Again, brings Monet down to the mat, calls her to her feet, runs the ropes, drops the leg across the back. Into the pin goes Nia. And only a 2 count. You have to feel Nia in this gold league. We've said it's a close league. This is probably one of the closer matches between two top talents. Monet up and down, Fisherman Buster into the pin as well. Jax is jiggling a lot, but it's still only a 2 count. Kevin only stopped the count once Jax's shoulders were off the apron. And Monet locking in a Salt of the Earth there. Jax pushes her off. Irish whip. Misses the grab. Misses the punch. A second time. But the big boot is enough to put Monet back down into the path of Nia. Pop-up maneuver here. Sorry, deadlift maneuver into the powerbomb position and brings her down with that one-legged stacked powerbomb. That's enough to put Monet away. Nia Jax victorious here tonight in her opening bout of the tournament. And this was kind of expected. Monet really could not get rolling. Jax dominant from minute 1. And that really results in an easy victory for her. Close set of maneuvers, the jiggly Fisherman Buster. But it wasn't enough for Monet there to be victorious. But then this crumpled powerbomb stacks her. And utilizing the mass, secures the dub.
Here is your winner, Nia Jax.
Nia Jax joined Mandy Rose and Liv Morgan atop of the division here in the Gold League. Will this league get any closer? We will have to see going into, well, our second rotation of matches happening legitimately tomorrow. We'll round out our second batch of matches on not Monday. A week on Monday's time, where we begin our second week of action. But yet a great set of matches so far. The league shaping up as expected. But as you can see on your screens, we're heading to the Pink League. A league that's seen interesting results so far. In my opinion, we're gonna get some more surprises here in IPW. And I'm confused because why is that on D5? So all my... Okay. I understand. My formulas are messed up. Anywho. Roman versus Gunther. I mean, it's a... In my mind, who wins is what I'm thinking. Because they're both top stars. They've both won top belts. Who takes the big dub? That is the hard question that we're going to be asking here tonight, but we will be finding the answer out as well. As a obviously commentary, I do not have favorites as to who I think will win, but you kind of have to think about what could be the potential outcomes. We probably, in this division, the Pink League, may see some stars that should easily make it to the Showdown lose out. And that is surprising, to say the least. But, well, that is a completely different story to talk about. Why don't we turn our attention fully to our co-main event here tonight? The road to the Showdown looking great. And now it's looking to be the island of relevancy. As the OTC's music plays, the choir begins. The drums ramp up as Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, makes his way out for his opening bout.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the OTC, Roman
Reigns. We've talked about in his previous runs a man on a conquest towards gold. He fell short in the Dual Dream tournament, failing to gain that title match. But in this division that he sits in, the competition he will be facing some rivals of previous pay-per-views, the likes of Will Ospreay, others former champions in Shawn Michaels, and lastly, current champs, the television champ, Randall Keith Orton. All will go toe-to-toe with the tribal chief. One thing's for sure, Roman remains and looks confident heading into tonight. But we've realistically not even touched his opponent at all in the commentary. The ring general will be against him. Two former world heavyweight champs in WWE. And tonight,
and his opponent, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds, Gunther!
they are opponents. Everything is on the line. You have one shot to beat a guy in this tournament. Who will come out on top in this bout? Gunther seems confident, bringing his sacred mat appearances. Everything is important attitude. Sacredity? How do you say the word? The sacredity of wrestling versus the tribalness, the OTC. Roman takes the waist control here in the early goings, applies pressure, wrenching on Gunther. Gunther utilizing his power to break the hold, takes waist control for himself here against Roman. Roman, though, nice arm toss there to take Gunther down into the side headlock position. Gunther gets back to a vertical base, but he's still trapped in this hold. Pushes Roman off. A drop down, leapfrog, and then a chop. But Roman shakes that off and comes firing back with a right. Tie up once again. Gunther this time taking the headlock position over Roman. Roman sends Gunther running. A drop down, a leapfrog, and a lariat caught Gunther into the fireman's carry. Up and down, Death Valley driver. Add in that launching of his body. And Gunther now in control of this one. A roll-up attempt comes through. Roman kicks out quite quickly and rolls out the way of the knee drop from Gunther. As we've mentioned already about this league, the Pink League features tough talent. I'd say if you're Roman, you're probably wishing you may be in the Green League, where you get a chance to challenge the champ and potentially stake a claim to a title match. But right now, he's got work to do in the Pink League. If he wants a shot at Joe, he'll probably have to meet him at the Showdown. But until then, his path is towards success. First, beat Gunther. Then, in a matchup on Saturday, he will go up. Oh my word, that's an interesting bout. He will go up against Jon Moxley. Roman versus Moxley. That's a battle of the Shield. Superman punch connecting. Roman into the pin. Only a 2 count. And this has been mostly Gunther and Roman in control, I should say. Half and half suplex there. To the apron they go. Backdrop onto the apron. The hardest part of the ring. Across the spine. Must be very painful. Roman brings Gunther down with a power slam. Just destroying him right in front of the announce desk. Gunther connects with the drop kick. It was more so the knees connecting. Chopping. Well, that's a nice chop trade between the two. Referee Kevin up to a 6. Make that 7. Issues them back into the ring. The big boot from Gunther missing. Roman casually just walks into the ring. Hooks Gunther up. DDT. Drops him down to the mat. And Tribal Chief. I think we know what's coming. It's an ooh and an ah. And a spear. Plants Gunther into the mat. Roman into the cover. Not enough just yet to keep the ring general down and out. A little bit more needed. As Gunther determined to stay alive in this matchup. But for how much longer can he withstand the pressure that Roman Reigns is applying? That power bomb sets Roman up. He sends Gunther running and brings him down with a tilt-the-world slam. Into the pin goes the Tribal Chief. Only for a 2 though. Gunther still has the energy, the capacity to kick out. But he's ran straight back into a Superman punch from Reigns. And he drops him center of the ring. Still kicks out in the nick of time. Reigns though. Spear caught. Gunther. He's turning the tides of this match. Grabs a hold of Reigns. Reigns though fighting out of the grasp. Still a lot of energy in the tank here for Reigns. He's been in control the majority of the bout. Gunther, that breath of fresh air, just cut off at the pass every time. The spear again misses. Gunther comes through with the drop to the body. Into the pin he goes. Roman in trouble. Easy kick out for Reigns, but he's caught immediately. Gunther brings him down with the power bomb. Stacks him up for a 2 count. Reigns in trouble as another drop to the groin comes through from the ring general, who's turned the tides very much on this match. Up and down on the apron, turnabout. Well, that's a taste of his own medicine there. As Reigns had it all in the bag, but he's lost it. Superman punch, though, could win this match back for him. The back and forth action may now go in one direction. A direction towards the island of relevancy as Roman Reigns comes through with the spear. And Gunther is down and well and truly out of it. Roman Reigns victorious in our co-main event. And let's be honest, we said it was one-way traffic through the early stages of this match until Roman missed a spear. He missed 2, to be honest. Gunther caught him, connected with the powerbomb, but it wasn't enough to get the job done. And Reigns came flying in, Superman punch first, and then the same maneuver we know to follow it. The ooh and the ah. And a spear ends the night for the Tribal Chief. A nice crisp 3 points for him. as he takes his spot favorably at the top of the Pink League. He joins Will Ospreay, Shawn Michaels in that placement as well.
Here is your winner, the OTC, Roman Reigns.
Will he remain a contender in this division? We will have to see. Also, Gunther, he needs that bounce back. Will he get it? We won't find out for a few days, but I can't wait to see it. With this match now in the books, it is match of the week time. The television champion, Natalya, takes on the undisputed Women's World Champion, Fallon frickin' Henley. I'm stoked for this match. The energy in the arenas will be palpable. I will have to see, can the energy be matched by the wrestlers? We will find out very, very soon. How soon, you ask? Right about now. This is going to be good, folks. Only one woman can walk out victorious as we return to the main event here in the Breakdown Arena in Salisbury, MD. Don't know where that is, but who cares?
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the undisputed women's television champion, Natalya.
Love that introduction there by Mike Rome, announcing it as a champion versus champion match. And that's the first time we've ever heard that here in IPW. The champions tend to stay in their own division and not really face one another. Tonight, well, that story changes as the cowbell can be heard for the undisputed Women's World Champ.
And her opponent, representing Fatal Influence from Chelsea, Michigan, the undisputed Women's World Champion, Fallon Henley.
It's time to saddle up here tonight on Breakdown. The champs are in the house and they're looking ready. The energy, it's electric here. And I am undecided as to who I think will win. 2 championships being held. Natalya calling for Fallon to bring her best there. And we're underway with our main event, the matchup of the week, and Fallon Henley takes control with the waistlock. Wrenching on the hold here. Natalya being worked over. Roll-up attempt to schoolgirl. Comes through. Fallon secures a 1 count. Natalya reversing it. Goes over into the bridge. And a quick kick out there as these two tie up once again. Natalya overpowers Fallon. A kick to the gut, caught. And Henley ties up with Natalya for a 3rd time. Natalya overpowering our undisputed Women's World Champ. Comes firing through with some strikes. The veteran savvy in the ring, a technician capable of realistically controlling the ring, a ring general of sorts. The veteran of the game, faced so many legends in terms of Hall of Famers, the likes of Maurice, Beth Phoenix, Michelle McCool, all names that Natalya has shared the ring with. And it's an interesting feat as she goes up against a new crop of talent. The top stars always attested by her, as Henley right now starting to, well, take control and get in this match. She runs the ropes up and down with the neck breaker. And this is a nice sort of change up. As we know, Henley, well, she's a very dominant champion and has had one of the best runs here in IPW. Natalya can and will potentially upset her. We know that both the champions, Natalya came out on top in the locked-in chamber, submitting her way to victory by picking off well-down opponents. Now, obviously, we know that we'll probably see a championship rematch come out from Chelsea Green. When that will happen, I'm unsure, obviously, with the fact that... Oh, that was a paintbrushing slap there from Fallon as she hooks up Natalya up and down with that maneuver. But as I was saying, we'll probably see Green re-challenge for the belt in her rematch clause. Obviously, that won't be for a good few weeks, considering the Showdown is the primary focus here in IPW. No championships will be defended until after the live event, as Henley setting up Natalya for the hoedown. Connecting with the knee. That strike secures so many victories. And it was almost one there, but Natalya showing her champion's resilience to stay alive in this match. Henley, we know she's dominant. We've seen how and what she can do to people who think they're on her level. She will destroy them with their own maneuvers. And right now, we may see a sharpshooter, but that's a discus forearm missing. Natalya's, I believe, finisher falls short. And Henley looking to capitalize on it. But there we see it. The discus lariat connects. Natalya drops Fallon Henley into the pin. She goes for only a 2 count. Henley picks the leg. Oh my word. I said it already. She makes you feel her wrath by utilizing her opponent's finisher. The sharpshooter was locked in, and Henley now sets her up and brings her down with a famouser. Natalya, her night is done. And as we probably expected, the top champion in the women's division beats the mid-card champ. And Fallon Henley takes a delicious 3 points towards the Showdown. All 4 divisions have now seen every star compete at least once. This means that our first official standings are now known. But let's kind of cover off the Teal League, as we've not really said the positionings here in that league. Fallon, with the main event win, goes into first place alongside Julia, Michelle McCool, and Io Sky. We won't see Henley compete until Sunday, the main event against Jasmine Nix. That Fatal Influence battle there. That's going to be an instant classic and an epic one. But as this is our last show tonight, you're now going to go to seeing me. Hi! How's it going? The lights are getting a bit dark. Let me just do that. Hello, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Why don't we run down tomorrow's card? That is where we're heading, shall we say. Tomorrow's going to be epic. That is probably the best way to word it. An epic match is filled to the brim with talent. We've already seen tonight some quick matches, to be fair. We've gone through a lot. Well, it's still an hour in terms of all the action. So, who kicks us off? This is actually looking like an epic match. Up first, it's Julia taking on Roxanne Perez. That's going to be a fun one, I feel. As you've got talent that's just very, very strong in doing basically everything. The former television champ takes on potentially, a former challenger for that belt. After that, we stay in the women's division. Stephanie Vaquer takes on Liv Morgan. That's a good bout to start the show. Well, to continue our mid-card matches. Speaking of mid-card matches, Kurt frickin' Angle takes on Will Ospreay, our co-main event. That's going to be an epic battle. And finally, the main event on Friday. It's a battle of the Samoans. Samoa Joe takes on The Rock. A great show there for us all to watch. And back to me to round out tonight. Oh boy, I'm looking forward. After one round of action, round 2 starts tomorrow. Who will come out? We'll probably see the league, or each league, take a firm leader starting tomorrow. Especially, I think, with the likes of, I'd say firstly the Liv versus Stephanie matchup could potentially cause some issues. Obviously, Stephanie picked up 1 point. Similarly, the Angle picked up a point in his opening bout. Yeah, it's going to be a good show, I feel. The only matchup realistically, actually, we could see Julia take firm control of first in the Teal League. That is something that could potentially happen. But whether or not it does, we'll have to find out. Obviously, tomorrow, the broadcast probably will start earlier than what we have done, because I get home earlier. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed night 4 of the road to the Showdown. I'll see you tomorrow for day 5. Peace out.